Picture this. You are sitting at the dinner table, and someone slides a plate of grilled salmon in front of you. Golden, perfectly cooked, smelling absolutely incredible. Now, here is what most people do not know. That one meal could be doing something extraordinary for your brain, something that most Parkinson's medications cannot even touch. Today, I want to talk to you about fish oil, and not in the boring, confusing way you have heard before. I want to break this down simply, clearly, and honestly. Because if you or someone you love is living with Parkinson's disease, what I am about to share could genuinely change how you manage this condition every single day. Stay with me through all 7 reasons, because number 5 is the one that surprises almost everyone. And number 7 is the one your doctor may have forgotten to mention. Before we get into fish oil, let me paint you a quick picture of what Parkinson's actually does inside the brain. Because once you understand this, everything else will make perfect sense. Deep inside your brain, there is a tiny region called the Substantia nigra. Think of it like the engine room of a ship. This region produces a chemical called dopamine, the messenger that tells your muscles to move smoothly, to coordinate, to cooperate. In Parkinson's disease, the cells in that engine room start dying off, one by one. Dopamine drops. And that is when the tremors, the stiffness, the slowness, the balance problems, all of that begins. But here is something powerful that many people do not realize. The brain is not just a fixed machine that breaks down and there is nothing you can do. The brain has something called neuroplasticity. It can adapt, it can protect itself, it can even slow down damage when you give it the right fuel. And fish oil is one of the most powerful fuels you can give a Parkinson's brain. Let me show you exactly why. Reason number 1. Fish oil feeds the brain directly. Your brain is made up of about 60% fat. Not the unhealthy kind, but a very specific type of fat called omega-3 fatty acids. The most important one for the brain is called DHA. Just remember this. DHA is literally the building material your brain cells are made from. Every single neuron in your brain, every one of those precious nerve cells is wrapped in a membrane that is rich in DHA. When that membrane is healthy and flexible, signals move fast and clean. When it is low in DHA, the membrane gets stiff, communication slows down, and brain cells become much more vulnerable to damage. In people with Parkinson's disease, studies have found that DHA levels in the brain are often lower than in healthy individuals of the same age. This is not a coincidence. It is a sign that the brain is not getting enough of the raw material it desperately needs. Fish oil is one of the richest natural sources of DHA on the planet. When you take fish oil regularly, you are quite literally feeding your brain the exact fat it needs to maintain and protect its cells. Think of it like oiling a door hinge. Without oil, it gets stiff, squeaky, and eventually stops working right. With the right oil, it moves smooth and easy. Your brain cells work the same way. Reason number 2. Fish oil fights the inflammation that is destroying brain cells. Here is something that researchers have discovered in recent years that is absolutely critical for understanding Parkinson's disease. It is not just about dopamine. A huge part of what drives the damage in Parkinson's is something called neuroinflammation, chronic, ongoing inflammation inside the brain. Imagine your brain's immune system going into overdrive and never fully turning off. That constant inflammatory state creates a toxic environment that speeds up the death of dopamine-producing cells. And in Parkinson's patients, this neuroinflammation is often significantly elevated. Here is where fish oil steps in as a genuine hero. The omega-3 fatty acids in fish oil are powerful natural anti-inflammatories. They activate pathways in the body that reduce inflammatory chemicals and help calm down that overactive immune response in the brain. Multiple studies have shown that omega-3 supplementation can reduce markers of inflammation in the brain and nervous system, the exact kind of damage that accelerates Parkinson's progression. Reducing neuroinflammation may be one of the most important things someone with Parkinson's can do, and fish oil does it naturally without a prescription. Do you or someone you know take fish oil regularly? I would love to hear your experience in the comments below.
Reason number 3. Fish oil protects dopamine-producing cells. Remember those precious dopamine-producing cells that Parkinson's slowly destroys? Research has found something remarkable. Omega-3 fatty acids may actually help protect those specific cells from dying. In several studies on Parkinson's models, omega-3 supplementation was found to increase the survival of dopamine neurons, the exact cells that Parkinson's targets. The omega-3s appeared to shield these neurons from toxins and oxidative stress, which are two of the main forces that kill them in Parkinson's disease. There is also evidence that DHA in particular promotes the production of neuroprotective proteins, essentially your brain's own bodyguard chemicals that help protect neurons from damage. Think of it as fish oil helping your brain build its own defense system. Now, to be clear, fish oil is not a cure, and it is not going to magically bring back dopamine cells that have already been lost. But protecting the cells that are still there and slowing down the rate of damage, that is enormously valuable in a condition like Parkinson's, where every healthy neuron counts.
Reason number 4. Fish oil supports mood, depression, and mental health. Here is something that often does not get talked about enough when it comes to Parkinson's disease. Depression affects roughly 40 to 50% of people living with Parkinson's. That is nearly half. And it is not just because living with a challenging condition is emotionally hard, though it certainly is. Depression in Parkinson's also has a biological cause. The loss of dopamine does not just affect movement. Dopamine is also deeply tied to mood, motivation, and pleasure. When dopamine drops, so does the ability to feel positive emotions. Many people with Parkinson's struggle with anxiety, apathy, and clinical depression, and these symptoms are often undertreated. Fish oil has some of the strongest natural evidence for supporting mood and reducing depression. Multiple large clinical trials have shown that EPA, a key omega-3 in fish oil, has significant antidepressant effects. It works by influencing the same neurotransmitter pathways that many antidepressant medications target. For someone with Parkinson's, improving mood and supporting emotional well-being is not a luxury. It is part of comprehensive care. And fish oil offers this benefit without the side effects that come with many psychiatric medications. If you found this video helpful, please drop a thumbs up and leave me a comment. Tell me what topics you want me to cover next.
Reason number 5. Fish oil improves how well your medications work. This is the one that surprises almost everyone, and I want you to pay close attention here. The most common medication used in Parkinson's disease is called Levodopa. It is the gold standard treatment that helps replace the dopamine the brain is losing. But here is a challenge that many patients and families face. Over time, Levodopa can become less effective. Patients experience what are called off periods, times when the medication wears off and symptoms come back before the next dose kicks in. Research has shown that omega-3 fatty acids may help improve the effectiveness of levodopa by improving how well the medication crosses into the brain. They do this by supporting the blood-brain barrier, essentially the gatekeeper that controls what gets into your brain and what does not. When your omega-3 levels are adequate, that barrier stays healthier and more responsive, which means your Parkinson's medication may actually work better. Now, serious, this does not mean you should change your medication on your own. Always speak with your doctor about any changes to your treatment plan. But this interaction between fish oil and medication effectiveness is a real and important reason why omega-3 supplementation deserves a serious conversation with your neurologist. Pause.
Reason number 6. Fish oil supports balance, coordination, and motor function. One of the most feared aspects of Parkinson's disease is not just the tremors. It is the loss of balance and coordination that can lead to dangerous falls. Falls are one of the leading causes of injury and hospitalization in Parkinson's patients, and they significantly reduce quality of life and independence. Omega-3 fatty acids play a role in the health and function of the part of the brain that controls balance and coordinated movement. They also support the protective coating around nerve fibers that allows signals to travel quickly and accurately between the brain and muscles. When those nerve pathways are damaged by chronic inflammation and oxidative stress, as happens in Parkinson's, those signals get garbled, slow, or incomplete. This contributes to the stumbling, freezing of gait, and coordination problems that many patients experience. Some research has also found that omega-3 supplementation may help reduce muscle rigidity and stiffness, two of the core motor symptoms of Parkinson's. For older adults especially, anything that supports balance and reduces fall risk is enormously valuable. This is one more reason why fish oil belongs in a Parkinson's care routine. Pause. Reason number 7. Fish oil supports long-term brain preservation. I saved this one for last because it might be the most important of all, especially if you are in the earlier stages of Parkinson's, or if you are a caregiver trying to slow the progression of this disease. Parkinson's is a progressive condition, meaning it tends to worsen over time. But the rate at which it progresses varies enormously from person to person. Some people live with relatively mild symptoms for many years. Others experience faster decline. The difference often comes down to how well the brain is protected and nourished over time. Fish oil activates a protein called BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor, which acts like a fertilizer for brain cells. BDNF helps neurons survive, grow, and connect with each other. In Parkinson's, BDNF levels are often low. By supporting BDNF production, fish oil may help the brain maintain more of its function over time, essentially slowing the rate of cognitive and motor decline. This is not a dramatic overnight transformation. It is a slow, steady, protective effect that builds over months and years of consistent use. Think of it like wearing sunscreen every day. You do not see the benefit today, but 20 years from now, your skin tells a very different story than someone who never wore it. Long-term omega-3 supplementation for Parkinson's works the same way. Quiet, consistent protection that adds up over time. Have you or your loved one tried fish oil as part of managing Parkinson's? What has your experience been? Please share in the comments. Your story might help someone else who is just beginning their journey. Pause. Now, the part most people get wrong. I promised you we would talk about how not to take fish oil. Because getting this wrong means you are not getting the benefits, even if you are spending money on it every month. First, not all fish oil is created equal. The most important thing to look for is the actual EPA and DHA content on the label, not just the total fish oil amount. A bottle might say 1,000 milligrams of fish oil, but only contain 300 milligrams of actual EPA and DHA combined.
For meaningful brain health benefits, you generally want at least 1,000 to 2,000 milligrams of combined EPA and DHA daily. Second, look for fish oil that is molecularly distilled and third-party tested for purity. This ensures that heavy metals like mercury have been removed. Wild-caught sources like sardines, anchovies, and mackerel tend to have lower contamination than larger fish. Third, fish oil oxidizes and goes rancid quickly after opening. Always store it in the refrigerator. If your fish oil smells strongly fishy or has a harsh taste, it may be oxidized, and rancid fish oil can actually cause inflammation rather than reduce it. Fresh, quality fish oil should have only a mild ocean scent. Fourth, timing matters. Taking fish oil with your largest meal of the day significantly improves absorption and reduces the fishy aftertaste. The fat in the meal helps your body absorb the omega-3s much more effectively. Fifth, fish oil can interact with blood thinners. If you are taking any blood-thinning medications, please speak with your doctor before starting supplementation. This is a real interaction that needs medical supervision. And sixth, consistency is everything. Fish oil is not like a pain reliever that works in an hour. Its benefits build up in your cell membranes over weeks and months of regular use. For it to truly work, it needs to become part of your daily routine.
What about eating fish instead? Great question. And yes, food always comes first. If you can eat fatty fish 2 to 3 times a week, you are doing something wonderful for your brain. The best food sources of omega-3s include salmon, sardines, mackerel, herring, and trout. If you enjoy these foods and eat them regularly, your omega-3 levels are likely in a healthy range already. But here is the reality for many older adults managing Parkinson's. Appetite can decrease. Cooking may be more difficult. And getting 2 to 3 servings of fatty fish per week consistently is a real challenge for many people. In those cases, a high-quality supplement becomes an important tool. If you are vegetarian or vegan, there is an excellent alternative: algae-based omega-3 supplements. This is actually where fish get their DHA in the first place. They eat algae and concentrate the DHA in their fat. Algae supplements skip the middle step and go straight to the source. Let me give you a simple daily plan to get started. Aim for 2 servings of fatty fish per week: salmon, sardines, mackerel, or herring. Even canned sardines in water are an excellent and affordable choice. If cooking fish feels like too much, a piece of smoked salmon on a cracker is still a wonderful option. If you decide to add a supplement, choose one that shows at least 500 milligrams of EPA and 300 milligrams of DHA per serving, and take it with your evening meal for best absorption. Set a daily reminder on your phone, or place the bottle next to something you do every single evening: your water glass, your medication, your dinner plate. Make it automatic. And keep a simple journal. Even just a few sentences a day. Note your mood, sleep quality, stiffness, and energy. Over 6 to 8 weeks of consistent use, many people begin to notice subtle but meaningful improvements. Always loop in your neurologist or primary care doctor. Show them this information. Ask them what they think. A good doctor will welcome the conversation.
Parkinson's disease is one of the most challenging conditions a person and a family can face. It changes movement, mood, independence, and so much of daily life. And while there is no cure yet, the science is very clear on this. How you nourish your brain every single day matters enormously. Fish oil is not a miracle. It is not going to reverse what has already happened. But it is one of the most well-researched, accessible, and genuinely powerful tools available for supporting brain health in Parkinson's disease. It feeds the brain the structural fat it needs. It fights the neuroinflammation driving cell death. It protects dopamine neurons. It supports mood and mental health. It may improve how medications work. It supports balance and motor pathways. And it supports the long-term preservation of brain function over time. That is a lot of work from one little capsule or one beautiful piece of grilled salmon. And for someone managing Parkinson's, every single one of those benefits matters deeply. If you found this video helpful today, please share it with someone you care about, a family member, a friend, a caregiver, because this information can genuinely make a difference in someone's life. And subscribe to the channel so you never miss our next video. We cover practical, science-backed health strategies for older adults every single week. Thank you so much for watching. Take good care of yourself, and take good care of that incredible brain of yours.